Grand Rising, and welcome to the show today, Grand Rising Elizabeth. And it is December 13th, and we are so glad to have our guest speaker today, Miss Juanita Green. Yay, so we're looking forward to this. Yes. Okay.
You ready for me?
Yes. Oh, no. I'm gonna do you want me to do the reading now?
Yeah, go ahead and do it. It's, the opening stuff.
Okay, all right, okay.
No time to get in and
Yes. Okay, this morning, as usual, I'm gonna do a reading from our African Goddess Rising Oracle cards. I'm gonna choose one, nothing specific, but I'm gonna see what we come up with today. Oh. And I think we had this one already, I think. Asase, I'm sorry, I can't even see my screen. Asase, which is joy. Can you all see it? All right, okay, let me look it up here. Okay, let's see. All right, what is Asase saying? All right, she is the goddess of joy, and she is from Ghana, and she rules the temple of the warrior temple, and she is from the element of the bush. Goddess Asase rules life and death as the joyful crone, celebrated as Mama Earth. Her energy is loving, fertile, and nurturing, and her name is invoked at major life transitions. And Asaseya's guidance today is, your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. Your laughter waters the earth. I want to say that again because it really moved me. Your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. Your laughter waters the earth. That's just a wonderful thing to remember. And the embodiment of what she wants to share is, you deserve to be happy. It is safe for you to feel good. Allow yourself to feel joy with no limits. Wow. Allow yourself to feel joy with no limits. This is self-love. Your happiness doesn't need to look like anyone else's. If you can't imagine it, you won't be able to live it. Give a little therapy break. Close your eyes and see yourself joy-filled. Now laugh with your mouth and your eyes wide open. Try it. Release feel-good endorphins. And the declaration for today is, I feel like me when I'm happy. Beautiful. I'll say it again. I feel like me when I'm happy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you all, let's take a minute today, some point in time today, just to laugh at something. It could be minute or major, but take a laugh. Just giggle a little bit. Be happy. Be happy. Any comment?
Yeah. Deitra, she gave some instructions.
Yes.
And let's do that. Let's do that right now.
Okay. All right. Now I'll read them again.
Yeah. At the end, she says to
close your eyes.
And
see yourself joy-filled. Now laugh with your mouth and your eyes wide open.
Okay.
All I have to do is think of my teeth running everywhere.
Yes. Thank you all for participating.
There's a conference that where the whole conference is about laughing.
I've heard that.
I think it's a healing conference, and you just laugh laugh, 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 laugh. I don't know if it's like how long it is, if it's a couple of hours, or if it's a day or a weekend, but it's all about joy and about laughter
Yes,
and
yes.
keeping yourself and those what do you call it, endorphins
Endorphins, right.
flowing through, little happy people.
Right. It's
Yeah.
okay to be happy. You know, sometimes it's like people feel like I can't be happy because I'm gonna, people are gonna think otherwise about me or something. But it's okay. It's okay to be happy.
I attended a workshop, and there was a sister named anyway, she attended the same church that I was at, and the sister who was leading, she ministered to her because she was always full of joy. You know, you would just see her and she would just smile and laugh and everything. And the sister who was ministering to her told her she was laughing to cover up something else.
Oh my.
Now, did you see your face? I know you felt your face, Deitra, when you went down because of her telling her that, just that feeling of telling her she
Yes.
never was that anymore.
Oh, good.
Never was that. You could always depend on her joy when you saw her, you know.
Yes.
So, you know, when people, some things I just don't think that's God talking. Sometimes
Right.
I'm like that. No.
It can't be.
Literally, she just changed. And I don't mean to judge the Holy Spirit. You know, that's what the Holy Spirit wants you to be, full of joy.
Yes.
That even when you're sad, something's happening in your life and you can still laugh through it. That's a good thing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and so she just was never that anymore. And I missed that in her. I mean, immediately.
Wow.
Immediately. She told me, you know,
Wow.
you're doing that. The Spirit says you're doing that to cover her up and blah, blah, blah. And never again. If I see
Wow, that's a great example of somebody not wanting you to be happy, you know?
It
Yeah,
said she didn't trust the Holy Spirit within herself.
yeah.
Right.
Because even if it was true that she was laughing to cover up something, what's bad about that?
Yeah.
Right.
What is bad about that?
Because laughter
And
is healing. It's
it's
heals,
healing.
you know.
It's healing.
Yeah, but
So we gotta learn to trust the God in us.
That's
But so many times we trust the quote unquote the prophet, more than we trust ourselves. We trust the evangelist. We trust the pastor. We trust mama. Anybody that seems like they're closer to God maybe than you know. Because
right.
I remember this same sister saying, I was telling her, I said, you know, I came in, I was all full of joy and stuff, and I was saying, yeah, the Lord told me this, and you know, the Holy Ghost said this and that. And she says, did he really say that?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And from did he really say that, to me was that I hear him, thus saith the Lord thy God, Sheila, my daughter, you, blah, blah, blah. But there was that inkling in my spirit when I heard in my own way
Right.
the Lord tell me to do something. So there was and it wasn't her intention. It was just how she was operating.
Yeah.
That it caused doubt. Well, maybe he didn't, you know. So we have to be careful about what we say to people about what thus saith the Lord.
Right.
You know, what I'm getting is this: if it does not check with your spirit, and you know, I knew, and I was just so excited. And then when she, who is a prayer warrior, I felt like she knew more than me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because she's always in prayer, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So we have to, to thy own self be true. We have
Yes.
to hold the
That's
Spirit
right.
in us, and we have to know how God speaks to us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Can I
Anyway,
share?
yes,
Years
please.
ago, dating this guy, and I broke off with him. And about a week later, he showed up at my door, and he started the conversation. You're supposed to be my wife because God told me so. And I had to look at him, and I was like, well, I am so sorry, but God did not tell me the same thing.
Hello.
So,
That's right.
That's right. Thanks for sharing that. That's right.
I want to share something.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, I don't know if any of you all ever noticed that I post a scripture just about every day on Facebook. And so today's scripture is they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. So this is so on one accord with what the verse of the day. Actually, it's the U version verse of the day for today. Is so on one accord.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Thanks for sharing that. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Miss
Juanita, I
Deitra,
read the same verse this morning.
Isn't
Wow.
that powerful and encouraging?
Very.
Yes.
And I'd like to add one of the things that I've done and that I try and practice is when people say, I heard or I was led to tell you whatever it might be, I then take it to God in prayer.
That's right.
That's right.
And
Good.
I ask, did this come from you or did this come from them?
Right.
And show me confirmation if this is from you. If this is from you and this is what I am to do, lead me where you want me to go.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
that I have an obedient heart to do what you want me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let me just close this door, and it might be somebody that you sent to tell me something. But
right.
if this is not of you, shut it down, shut them down, and let it be gone. And when it moves away, and I know that that's not of him. But if it keeps coming back, then I know that I've got to kind of go back and pay
Yeah,
attention
right.
to that
Think about it.
because he'll let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So I got a question. So that seems like, I want to say a rite of passage, but I don't think that's what I really mean. It seems like a point of growth, I'll call it, for us when we get to that point that we can know thyself and trust the God in us for ourselves, as opposed to feeling like we have to, go along with this leader or that leader or person in this position or that position. What is that point? It's like a point of transition. Is that recognized, acknowledged as a specific point, or is it just part of growing?
part of growing, I think.
Growing. That's what I thought. That was my first thought.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then also, I had to think about why do I think she knows more than me?
Exactly.
Right. Well, the thing of it is that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And in the sense that, I mean, when you're a baby versus another person is, in another space, are more mature. But in anything that someone tells you, you got to just stop and go within and
Yeah.
know that you are as one with God as anyone else.
Exactly.
And then it is okay to ask for confirmation,
There you go.
no matter what your relationship or where your growth is. You can say, okay, God, I need you to show me that. But
Exactly.
if I haven't peeped that at all, and you haven't dealt with me at all, and somebody else says something, I'm like, yeah, one time we was in a session at the church I was at, and it was a male pastor, and he comes and says something, the spirit of lust and stuff. And I'm like,
What?
it did not register to me at all. I said, I don't know where you are, brother,
Right.
but I don't know how you're looking at me or anything like that, but it's like, I did not receive that at all, because I knew that wasn't there, so where did that come from? So it's also knowing who the person is. Some people, when they know me so well, it's a little harder to receive some things if it's coming out of the blue, and if it's something that they are saying all the time, like
Right.
now they want to say God said,
Uh,
that kind of thing.
right.
So and I know, and some people may be very real. I mean, it may be very true what they're receiving, but I have learned that God can speak to me and I can get confirmation about what that is.
That's right.
I know we all know God don't just out of the blue well, I'm not gonna say what God will, but for me, God just doesn't out of the blue come up with something. It's something that's been, how can you get the confirmation if it hasn't been somewhat brought to you, or you're doing something and then it comes up. But out of the blue,
No.
remember one man told me I was gonna get a pink Cadillac. And I said, now Lord, I ain't care for it, like the Mary Kay.
Yeah, right.
I said, Lord, I do. I mean, I'll accept it if it's a pink Cadillac. Okay, fine, but
Right.
pink Cadillac, okay. So anyway, I'm just saying, ask for confirmation.
Yeah.
And take responsibility. That was where I did see myself, that I wasn't taking responsibility for my own prayer life.
Yeah.
That my pastor had a better prayer life than I did. Sister Donna had a better prayer life than I did.
Right.
And that's when I had to learn to upgrade my prayer life. So,
There you go.
So honestly,
learn how to hear from God for myself,
That's right. That's
but
right.
Queen, why would you think somebody has a better prayer life? I mean, I think it goes with,
because they prayed all the time.
but that don't mean their prayer life is better though.
Yeah, but
That's
where
true.
I was, they pray all the time. I mean, they go into warfare praying for people. That's where their ministry is. And that was not mine. And when I say that, it's in comparison to what mine it was. And it's what I saw them do all the time: minister to people, pray for them, pray. I mean, literally going to, into tongues, they knew the scriptures. I was sitting up under them as a student. So when you're for me, if I'm under them and I see them praying all the time, I was not that. I was not
Right.
that. And so that's when I had to realize that I had to become more like that, so that I hear from God myself, because I was like, wait a minute. And then I did, and at a point in my life that something happened, that's when I said, you know what? And even when I was sharing with one of them, it was like, you know what? I'm good with what my decision is. And I had to take responsibility and joy in how God related to me and how God spoke to me. But that was how I felt.
At the time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna share my take. I grew up in the church, Baptist church. My mom is a PK, pastor's kid, and my grandfather was a pastor. My grandmother was even more of a pastor. And
Can you come on?
yeah, I can. And I grew up like that, going to church Sunday, Baptist, all the programs during the week. While we were in Texas, then we moved to California with just my mom. We're no longer, under the schedule of my grandparents. And my mom, it was funny, she would get us up on Sunday morning, get ready for church, and she'll still have her bathrobe on. And she would send us off to church. It's like, after some years, like, Mom, why aren't you coming too? And she probably had to say, all my life I did that. So this is my chance. I'm no longer living under my parents' schedule. So I'm gonna do it. Or even in the city with the parents, because we were in the city and we had that schedule. So when I got older, I went, we all go through our own what makes sense to us about our understanding of our relationship with God and whatever religion we're dealing with. But I ultimately got to the point of how you say they prayed all the time and they were praying for people all the time. I pray for people, and I don't say I'm gonna pray for you. I pray for them right now. But for me, my prayer life is my everyday walk.
Yeah.
I got to understand I don't need to get on my knees. There are times, yes, I get on my knees, but just my understanding and my connection to my God is, somebody wrote me, I woke up this morning, thank you, Lord, because I didn't have to wake up this morning. I knew I woke up.
Right.
I'm in my understanding mind. I'm able to be on this call with you all and talk and know what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying and feel that you all understand what I'm sharing.
Right.
And I'm thankful for that. So I understand how you're saying at that time in your life with them saying you kind of compared yourself to say you needed to step up. Yet for me, it came to mind about the Sadducees. They sit there and they wail and they pray. And Jesus looked at them and said, what are you guys doing? Why are you acting? Why are you showing off in front of all these people, knowing that your heart is not pure and that you really don't know God?
Right.
That
Good
you're
point.
playing a part. So to me, that's what I heard when you were saying, that they pray for everybody and they do this. My stepfather to me was a good example. That man was the meanest man you ever met to me. He talked about people, but you know what? Every Sunday he was at church praying and he became a minister. And my mom would sit back and say, God don't like fake.
Right.
But when you see stuff like that, so the bottom line for me with all of this is our walk we need to know in our heart our walk is pure.
Yeah.
We don't need to show off for anybody. We don't need to do nothing for anybody when our walk and our connection. And I heard people say, God turned his face from me. No, God don't turn his face from nobody. We have this illusion that he turned his face from us. It's in our mind that happened.
Right.
He's always for us. He's always with us. He's in us. He created us. We're of him, no matter what. It's our illusions in our own mind when we start feeling that God turned his back on me. God turned his back on nobody.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So that's my take, and that's my view, and I'm gonna make some more noise. Love you, ladies.
And that balloon that you have on that top is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
You see I like my shoulders out, so of course it's cold outside. I'm a nice toasty house.
Right. Yeah. It's the teachings. Anyway, I mean, we're talking about joy and we're talking about laughter and that was what you had read this morning. And for those who are just coming on, if you would just read that before we go on. And
can I ask one thing before she reads?
Yes, go ahead.
Deitra, you have mentioned in the reading that Yasa was the princess of a warrior tribe.
Yeah, the temple. She was of the warrior temple. So.
And that touched me. The part of a warrior temple, and she's of joy.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Read it one more time and then before we go to the next thing. Just
okay,
so that we're all on one page.
okay, this reading today was about the goddess Raziya. And she was the goddess of joy. She was of the Ashanti tribe of Ghana, and she was of the warrior temple. Goddess of Raziya rules life and death as the joyful crone, celebrated as Mama Earth. Her energy is loving, fertile, and nurturing, and her name is invoked at major life transitions. Her guidance is, your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. Laughter waters the earth. And I thought that was just wonderful, that our laughter waters the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the embodiment is, you deserve to be happy. It is safe for you to feel good. Allow yourself to feel joy with no limits. I mean, no limits. It feels like you feel it totally.
Yeah.
With no limits.
Yeah.
This is self-love. Your happiness doesn't need to look like anyone else's. If you can't imagine it, you won't be able to live it. Giggle therapy break. We took a break today in our talk where we had a giggle break, where we closed
Thank you,
our
Sheila.
eyes, we closed our eyes and see ourselves joy-filled. Now, and then we laugh with our mouth and eyes wide open, and we try to release feel-good endorphins. And the declaration for today is, I feel like me when I'm happy.
Yeah. Love it, love it, love it.
Yes, yes.
We did release feel good endorphins.
Yeah.
We didn't do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
We did do it. Yes. Okay. Now, are there any other comments on the reading? If not, we're gonna move over to Sister Juanita.
Well, thank you. I'm so grateful to be here with you all the time.
Yes.
Especially today, called as a guest speaker. I'm grateful to be able to bring the focus to this topic of the healing power of fasting. And I'm just curious to know how many of us have a perspective on fasting, know about it, do it. I'd like to hear your comments about fasting before I go into it.
Okay, I have an idea.
Go ahead.
Anyone else?
Mama Het does, but go ahead with yours, Sister Deitra.
Oh, do you want
Mama
me to
Het.
say something about it? I'm going to speak a little later, so.
Okay.
In depth.
Mama Het.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Yeah, it's dark here, so we're just gonna be here. Thank you all for being present today. I really enjoy our cipher, and thank you, Deitra and Juanita, for bringing this topic. Yes, I used to fast. I thought it was a joke at first because I was like, me and not eating was a joke to me.
Right.
But once I did it, I realized you get a deep spiritual your connection with self and the creator goes really, really deep.
Yes.
And also you realize that you eat like you want to go, like if you say you have a habit, you may like to walk. We eat to do something. We eat as a hobby and not as, not a purpose driven.
Right.
So that was that part of the journey. I was studying in college. I had online classes and I'm sitting at the computer. So every 5 minutes, you get up and go look in the refrigerator. And I told myself, I said, change what you're snacking on.
Right.
And being on a fast, you will realize that we eat just to be doing something.
Just to be doing something. You're right.
Ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. It really
Right.
is. And how many times when you're on your fasting, when you're purposed, you'll go to refrigerator out of times. You go to the refrigerator, shut the door because you know you on your mission, but you still get up to make that motion. It's
Right. Ain't
really
that so? Right.
something else how we abuse to the food.
Mhm, mhm.
Right.
And
Oh, those are great comments. Ooh, we.
I,
Thank you, Mama Hat.
Grand Rising, everyone.
Grand Rising.
Fasting is a regular part of my life.
Yes.
Just like prayer is I start my day with it. I
Okay.
don't do anything else until that's done. I don't answer the phone. It's like shower, prayer. But fasting is a regular monthly part of my life. It is how I start my month. I seek his guidance. I seek his wisdom at the beginning of the month. Sometimes it's at the end of the month. It's something that I do on a regular basis. And my fasts have been, I've not only done fasts from food, but there was one, it was about a year or two ago. And I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, I think I'm gonna go back and revisit that fast. I did a no complaining fast.
Yeah.
I went online and I Googled a list, give me a list of complaining words. And I wrote all those words down. I pasted them on my bathroom window, on my bathroom mirror, on my refrigerator, everywhere I could see it. And for 7 days, I could not say not one of those words. It made me realize how much we complain without realizing we're complaining.
Wow.
That's
And I was like, wow. So my fast can kind of vary according to where I feel that I'm being led to either fast from or do, but it is a regular part of my life. And like Mama had said, it is that connection. For me, that's what I call my father-daughter time. That is my time with my Heavenly Father. That is me and his time together. So, and I don't let anyone but him dictate how long it is. If it's 3 days, if it's 5 days, if it's 7 days, whatever it is, I follow where I'm led. But I call that's my father-daughter time.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Ooh.
Yes, awesome. I'm looking forward to us going deeper into the conversations
Okay, you know
with
what?
those of you all who have fasted, the results, the effects. But I'm gonna unless anybody else want to comment on your
Yeah,
fasting?
Yeah, Mama Raziya, she has her hand up.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, you muted.
Grand Rising.
Grand
Can you hear me
Rising.
now? Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
I've had some experience with fasting, and I found that fasting was my teacher in
Oh,
terms
wow.
of how I looked at life, in terms of my power, my control versus other energies controlling me. So
Oh, good
I
for you.
remember having a challenge with fasting. I didn't realize how much influence my atmosphere had, how much influence other people's behavior had on me.
Yes.
But my first fast was the lemonade fast.
Yeah.
I said, well, lemonade, that sounds like something I could do. And I was working with the Jesse Brown's Detroit Holistic Institute and, some of the people there. So there was some influence there in terms of several people who says, I've done it, it's doable.
Right.
So that one I was successful with. I did the first time I had aimed for 7 days and I only did 3.
Okay.
And I was overcome with influences or temptations. And so I ended it at 3. But I was beating myself up about that. And then I said, that's okay. I did 3, and I'm going to praise God for that.
Okay, good
So
for you.
that fast has been one that I was able to do. And the other, what I'm into now is the intermittent fasting experience, where I try to end my meal early, if it's 6 o'clock or so, and then give 12 hours between eating and not consuming anything other than water until 12 hours later. So that's been helpful in my discipline. My hardest problem is, as a cook, it's difficult to fast because I'm a taster. I like to taste everything before I present it to the rest of the people.
Right.
So any other cooks out there, I want to hear from you, because that is one of the ongoing challenges in terms of deciding to do a fast.
Exactly.
And you have to quit all of your work, or can you do it ongoingly? So thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, as far as being a cook, I normally fix things that I know how to do it, and I know how it's going to taste, and because I've done it so much. So that's what keeps me, when I'm trying to fast, I don't eat. But long as I cook something that I know how to do it and how it's gonna taste, I already know how it tastes. They know how. So I'm got to do something safe.
Yeah, I've done a 40-day fast.
Ooh.
And I've done I've been put on a fast without knowing it, like 3 days, and I realized I hadn't eaten, nor had I wanted to eat.
Wow.
And when my pastor came back from out of town, and she was calling all the members, we were a small church, and I said, I haven't eaten in 3 days, and I don't know why. And that's, so I had the keys to the church, so I went up and I prayed. She prayed for me, and then I went up to the church that morning, and just all God was just speaking to me about what my ministry is, or how he was going to use me. And and then yeah, so the 40-day fast, we was at a church that was that moved in all the gifts of the Spirit. And so we would go on a fast in a second.
Yeah.
There would be a declaration of a fast, and we'd be on that fast very quickly, without any struggle. So yeah, so I've done little and that the master cleanser fast that was past the lemonade fast, Raziya. So yeah, that was fascinating. Now I need to make it more of my life now, because I could do it, before. That was easy. I was in that mode. I was in that mood of fasting,
Right.
I'm glad you're talking about this subject, and, Bridget sharing how, it's part of her every week. That's part of her life and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for sharing. Anybody else want to share now, or you want to? We're going to have more time to share also as I go through. I do want to share a disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional. I think it's advisable for anyone who is planning to fast to prepare and to make sure your health is in order, and your mind and your spirit are in order to be really prepared to do this, because going about it in a way that is maybe not so careful, we can have some detrimental effects sometimes. So, and the information that I'm sharing is just information. Is not a professional opinion. I am a certified fitness and nutrition specialist, and that's the extent of any professional training I've had in relation to our health. So I want to be clear on that and have that on the record. And so let's talk about who established fasting. To me, the apparent answer is God, because fasting is an innate tendency within all of creation, whether it be like Queen Aduni was saying, she just found herself fasting and didn't even realize it, that she had gone without eating. We could look at a loss of appetite, either due to sickness or when we're sad, mourning, or in mental torment of some type. We just may not have an inclination to eat. That's a type of fasting. We'll see our pets sometimes fast. Our pets may not have an appetite when they're sick or even when they're sad. And we may even see the earth and creation in a state of fasting. It may be called a drought. It may be called, I don't know what else it could be called. But when I'll say Mother Nature kind of shuts down the energy pathways, we may be on a sunshine fast. We may find ourselves, with many, many cloudy days, and maybe the earth is going through a transition. So I see fasting as something that is inherent within all of creation, that God put in us when He created us. This appears to be part of the natural order. So for me, who established fasting, I would say God, or whatever you acknowledge as your source. What is fasting? Just the abstinence from food and drink and or carnal indulgences. As Bridget was saying, she did that complaining fast, so it doesn't have to be just abstaining from food or drink. Let's just say abstaining from nutrients or fuel sources. I'll put it that way. And so that may be whatever you identify as a fuel source that you may, for whatever reason, choose to abstain from for a period of time. That period of time can be specified or unspecified. Like we hear each other talking about 40-day fast, 5-day fast. And as Bridget said, she just lets God guide her to when it's time to end the fast. And then sometimes we may have a known or unknown purpose. We may, within our minds, acknowledge that I'm doing this for a specific purpose, but we may not. We may just find ourselves doing it. We may find out the purpose later. So what is the purpose of fasting? The general purpose of fasting could be viewed as a means to clear the energy pathways, to foster an improved level of energy transfer and more efficient or effectual use of that energy. And then I asked the question, what are the types of fasting? And commonly recognized are religious fasts such as Ramadan, Yom Kippur, the Daniel fast. But you could also look at a hunger strike, like Dick Gregory did a hunger strike, and you hear prisoners doing a hunger strike. And so what that accomplishes, it clears the pathways for an energy shift. It may cause other people to act towards you in a way that's different than they would have wanted to act towards you. So that's a different kind of energy coming your way because of a hunger strike you may have gone on. But it may not just be the energy of people, even more so to connect with God's energy working through you. As we go forward, we're going to talk more about what I call the 5-day master cleanse. that was the lemonade fast that I did. And we're going to talk about the intermittent fasting that Deitra's going to bring more to us about that. So we're going into more detail about what are the types of fasting, and then let's talk about who is it for. Sometimes it may be specifically for our religious leaders, because they have to reach God at another level that the people who they're leading may not be able to. That was the case with Moses on Mount Sinai. Now, it doesn't say if Moses specifically acknowledged that he was fasting, but he went without food or drink for 40 days. And as a result of that, we saw that he was able to hear from God. God heard him, and he received the 10 Commandments. So that's one example of how a leader can be effective for the people in fasting. But fasting can be for anybody who embarks upon it with a pure heart that is fully committed to its clear intent and chosen purpose of that fast. And it may be for anybody who is just so inclined. But if you're going to choose to do it, the important thing is that you're clear on your purpose, you're committed to that purpose, and consistent. So in order to get the results, there's scriptures in the Bible that talk about how people got results from fasting, and there's scriptures in the Bible that talk about how people who fasted did not get the results because their hearts were not, purely focused on the intent of the fasting. So what are the results of fasting? Let's look at enhanced spiritual empowerment. We are able to not just hear God speak to us more clearly, but to connect with the energy forces that are at work in creation in a more effective way, in a more pure way. We're able to, sometimes people will use it in a negative aspect to connect with negative forces, but it's according to the intent of your heart as to what energy you're connected with that can better flow through you and better work through you. There's the cleansing aspect of fasting, that by you not taking in those nutrients, it gives your body a chance, your mind a chance, your spirit a chance to clear out useless waste that may be within us. And then there's the aspect of restoration, because the fasting gives our systems a chance to rest and restore as we bring foods back into our system, or bring nutrients or fuel back into our system. Then there's the aspect of elevation, because we do operate at an actual higher frequency. That's what makes us able to tune in to the energy fields more so. And then there's an aspect of improved character. We find ourselves being more disciplined, more diligent, more humble. And that takes us into the healing power of fasting, because there's a scripture, I think it's, I can't call it 7:14, 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sins and heal their land. So that's one big example of an aspect of fasting, how fasting improves our character of being humble, and connects us with more obedience. It improves our level of obedience to God, and God responds to our obedience. He responds to our diligence. There's that scripture that talks about how without faith it is impossible to please God. But for those of us who seek him, we must know that he is, and that he is the rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So faith is an aspect of fasting that is heightened and improved within our character. And let's keep in mind the scripture of going back to that spiritual empowerment, the scripture where the disciples had attempted to heal a man's son, and they weren't able to deliver him from the demon that was the root of his illness, his mental illness. But Jesus was able to do it, and the disciples went to him and asked, "How come we weren't able to do it?" And Jesus essentially told them, "Because of your lack of faith, your unbelief." But the most important thing Jesus told them, and I'm saying Jesus because that's what we commonly know him as. That's a whole other thing. I'll continue to say Jesus for the sake of a common understanding of who we're talking about. But the most important thing he says, belief, faith, most importantly, is this kind of healing occurs only by fasting and prayer. So that points out the importance of our prayers accompanying our fasting, and how we attain a level of spiritual empowerment because of that. And we're better vessels for God's power to work through us. Look at fasting as a type of purging. And there's a scripture that talks about, and this scripture is not talking about purging physically, it's talking about purging ourselves of our lust, of our wicked ways, purging ourselves of our negative characteristics. And it says, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. So fasting is a way of purging that brings us to a point where God can better use us. He can better work through us. His energy can operate in us more effectively. So that's the essence of what I have prepared at hand, that I've got actually kind of written out. I've got some more things in mind, but anybody got any comments or questions or anything to share about what I've said so far?
But Sister Juanita, I truly appreciate what you just said, because it really made me understand even more about the fasting that I do and the importance of it. And it really, really spoke to me. And I thank you for everything you shared. That was good.
Thank you for allowing me to share it. One thing that I didn't touch on that I'm going to share with you all, I'm going to do a screen sharing. Because the real reason why Deitra, Sister Deitra and Mama Raziya, oh, I can't share. Only the host can share in this meeting. Okay. So if anybody wants the written out 5-day master cleanse,
I can send it to you, honey. I can give you the power.
Oh, okay. So it might take me a minute to pull it up out of my pictures, but let's see.
It's on your computer?
No, it's right here on the phone. I'm on my phone on Zoom. So it's right here, so I can just pull it up into the Zoom.
Okay, let me see. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go to share, and I'll go to photos, and I'll go to allow, and I'll go to my files or photos, both places it should be. And let me see, 5 Master, M-A-S-T-E-R.
Okay, now it put you into the
Into my menu.
to the video, what is it? The stop video. Now you're in it's not you anymore. It's just the picture.
Okay, well, I
Now you're
won't do it. Anybody who wants it, let me know, because I don't want to take up too much time trying to make something happen. It ain't happening quickly.
back.
Um, but I can review it with you, because this is what was effective for me in healing, a measure of healing at the beginning of the year, that brought me to a point where the tumor was shrinking, and the doctor was amazed, and God got the glory, because I wasn't taking any medication at that time. However, as I came out of the master cleanse and went into the body management program, which is a matter of certain herbs and tinctures, maybe not having balance and not really knowing enough of what I was doing, and the tumor started regrowing in new territory. And that's when God told me to go ahead and do what the doctor says. And now I'm on the medication. But this was effective. The 5-day master cleanse. The night before the cleanse, you take a good bowel herbal cleaner, such as 2 Cascara Sagrada capsules, or one of the other herbs like buckthorn, turkey, rhubarb, and then there's others that you all have talked about that are good laxative type herbs. So that's what you want to do the night before. And it says, be sure not to use any psyllium husk if you're constipated. Okay, so day 1, that next morning when you wake up, you combine 32 ounces of steam distilled water and 2 teaspoons of pink Himalayan sea salt, and you drink it down within 15 minutes. And this will promote elimination. So what that laxative help loosen up in you, that sea salt and water, pink Himalayan sea salt and water will help push it out. For the rest of the day, you drink the lemonade drink, and the lemonade drink, in this case, is a gallon of steam distilled water, 8 ounces of grade A or B dark colored maple syrup, 8 ounces of fresh squeezed lemon juice, and a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And the note is to drink this throughout the rest of the day. If you're dealing with diabetes, use blackstrap molasses instead of maple syrup. And you do this days 2 through 5. And you repeat each night, taking the laxative, and each morning taking that water with the pink Himalayan salt in it. And then on day 6 for your breakfast, and let's just make note the word breakfast. We know that's breaking the fast, but we just commonly refer to it as breakfast. So we fast probably daily without even thinking that we're fasting, overnight for those hours. So anyway, for breakfast on day 6, you want a 12-ounce glass of, you want 12 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice. For lunch, you want fresh fruit. And for dinner, a salad with no meat, and just use apple cider vinegar and olive oil for your dressing. And then throughout the day, on that 6th day, you want to drink steam distilled water or the lemonade drink. And day 7, you start the body management program. That's gradually introducing healthy foods back into your diet. For me, it was more smoothies. I was doing a smoothie. I was really just doing one smoothie, a combination of fruits and vegetables. And then I was doing a salad in the evening. And this is where I really got into more raw foods as the days went on. Because day 8 just says add herbs specific to your condition, in addition to the body management herbs. So there's a list of herbs on the body management system that I probably could pull it up and bring that up too on my other phone that I'm working on. Let me see here. Bear with me just a moment. And I can tell you what those herbs are from the gallery. No, you don't have it there. You don't, I don't have it on this other phone. Anyway, if you want that information, I can share that with you in the future. And I can also put the 5-day master cleanse and the body management system in our WhatsApp chat.
Okay, great.
Yep,
Oh,
I can do
wonderful.
that.
That would be
So
great.
yeah, it takes a lot of study though to know what's really going to work for you and your specific condition. And I really thank you, Deitra, for and Mama Raziya for allowing me this opportunity to bring this forth, because I thought I was really going to only talk about, my journey and healing, but it went to the fast, and that's
Yeah,
where
well,
the
for
focus.
actually bringing that forward too, the whole concept of fasting. I think you did a great job with getting us to think about that. So good, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Mama Evelyn?
I want a clear understanding of fasting. So
Abstaining.
what I do is in my meals before 6 and attempt not to eat anything until 6 the next morning. Well, it's usually ends up being 10 after this meeting the next morning, because I don't eat anything like now until after this meeting.
So you're
So a
fasting
clear
daily then.
yeah. So fasting, you're drinking water. Okay, so
It depends.
water.
Fasting depends on you. Your fast is what you define, because it can be as simple as fasting from specific foods. You can do a no meat fast, or no carbs fast. It could be simple as one thing, and that's if you're doing it just for physical purposes. You can also do it for physical purposes where you don't eat or drink anything for whatever number of days or hours. And that can be for strictly physical purposes, with the intention. But what happens, regardless of if that's your intention, you'll find yourself more clear, your mind more clear, your hearing more clear, to interact with the energies of creation and to hear God. So that is, it keeps us at a operating at a healthier level overall. The regular fasting keeps us operating at an elevated level. So what is fasting for one person may not be fasting for another person. It's according to what you define, what your purpose, what your intention is.
Mhm. Okay. I want to get off this. It's not really on. It's still on the subject, but okay. When I sleep at night, when I lay on my left side, my ear started to feel like it was clogged, you know. But when I get up, it would go away. When I went to the doctor Thursday, she cleaned it out. So, because they said this was, was wax. So she did the thing. So it's been clogged since last Thursday. So I'm hesitant to go back. So does anybody have any remedies for this, or should I go back?
Why are you hesitant? What makes you hesitant?
Because she seemed to make it worse. Whereas it would clear up when I got up during the day, it has not cleared up at all. And so I've been using the store-bought remedy, and I used my little plunger thing from, that I got from and I don't like this because I really, if I plug up this ear, I can barely hear, and my hearing is everything to me. I pride myself on really good hearing. So
When you
What's the
said,
story about
Evelyn,
memory?
just one second, when you said she did what? Did she
well,
did
it's
air
that
waxing, or did she use a machine?
she used a like a funnel, and stuck it in my ear with a solution and had a cup here and, poured it in and, what she said was coming out. Because I know Sheena had problems with her ears clogging up, but she had big clumps of wax, hard wax that was in her ear. But that wasn't the case with me. But yeah.
Mama had?
I was just gonna ask, did she get everything out? Because sometimes, the ears are very peculiar, and I've just learned recently that we've been doing it wrong. I don't know why it's wrong all of a sudden. Is detrimental, can be detrimental. So now they want everybody to suck everything out. So I was just saying, maybe the clogging, maybe there's more in there, and you need to go get more out. When you remove things from the body be like, wait a minute, what you doing? No matter whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, you know what I mean? The body is going to react. So she may have begun the process of the taking. You trusted her to go in there to go see what it was, so why not let her, if you need to do a follow-up appointment, right?
Yeah, I'll just call and they'll come and get me. Yeah, I'll call.
Do you want it out or do you want it in?
Yeah, I do want it out.
Okay,
Yeah,
then that enthusiasm, I need you to keep that on finishing what you started, because you were uncomfortable. So let them take care of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I found when that happens to me, it takes more than just one time, because you don't know how clogged up you are. So, be patient with yourself if it's gotten to that point, and I generally use the ear coning. I use the wax, and I have to do it several times, and come back again and do it again, so yeah, it didn't pile up all of a sudden, in one day. So if it's to the point where you can't hear, and then of course we got Mama Raziya that's going through a whole different situation with her hearing, and she might want to share what that is. But yeah, and the one thing is to be patient with your body. Do not become fearful about what's happening, but just acknowledge that the body is showing you something's out of order. And if that's an ear doctor, and just be patient, go back, tell her what's happening, that is still happening like that. And just, be patient.
Okay.
And I don't know if the ear coning can help as well, using the cone and
I've seen it. Yeah.
That's my go-to,
ear candling is called.
handling. Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Well, Mama Evelyn, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I had a sudden hearing loss, just from the difference of one day to the next. And mostly in my left ear, very poor hearing. In the right ear was better. And I went to, shared with a lot of people. So I did check with the ear coning. I did not complete as many of the procedures as I could have, or maybe should have. I also went to a specialist referred me by my doctor, regular medical doctor, and they checked and cleansed and told me my ears were all clear. Everything was clear in both ears, but yet the hearing continues to be at a great disadvantage. Presently, I'm working with a chiropractic person who says that the hearing can be compromised by a development in the ear. So he's doing adjustments to help loosen. Now, my case is probably kind of special in that I was in a very serious auto accident years ago, and my mandibular joint was out of place. So I had treatment for that for, 6 to 8 months of adjustment, readjustment to avoid lockjaw and a very serious physical challenge. So that was successful. I never got the lockjaw. I never had to go in for surgery or anything. But this specialist that I went to found out that my mandibular joint was a little bit out of place. It had slipped a bit, and that could be related to my particular hearing loss. So the chiropractic treatment, I'm praying about it and really counting on that adjustment, 5 or 6 different adjustments maybe being significant. I've been doing, as you probably have too, a lot of reading and researching and so forth. Across the country and the world, there is more concern about hearing loss than we've known about. I mean, I didn't hear as much about it last year or 2 or 3 years ago. There's something happening in the universe. So we are to be mindful, whether it's our behaviors, our diets, our whatever, but I'm listening. And I was given some information about sound, and that the ears are very sensitive, and that the sounds that we are exposed to in today's society, the real loud music, the loud drumming, some of those sudden banging sounds could be related to the massive hearing losses. Our phones, this technology is something else, y'all. And we do need to be mindful of how this present day technology is affecting our bodies, and especially our ears and our eyes.
Yes.
So all of that, and I will, Sister Evelyn, I'll share notes with you as I go along, but right now I'm getting the adjustments through the chiropractic, and I'm also being told to make sure the ears are lubricated. So I've been told to use drops and that. And I'm better, because when this first started, I heard firecrackers, a popping sound, especially coming from the ear that had the most loss. Pop, pop, like distant firecrackers. And I said, it's not the 4th of July. I'm hearing these sounds on a daily basis. And they were some part of the day, they were more pronounced than other times. So it's been a journey. And you're right, your hearing is so important. I've had to learn how to be socially okay, to say to people, would you repeat that? At first, I was very sensitive, and I was withdrawing from being among other people because I didn't like having to ask over and over, what did you say, and that kind of thing. So I realized that was stressful, and I definitely didn't need stress as a part of this journey.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
So I've had.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mama Juanita.
I'm wondering if we're looking deeper, or the doctors are looking deeper at the ear structure. I think I've heard of some people experiencing something with the angle of the tubes or whatever naturally in the ear. I don't know if they're looking at that for you, um, or the size of the canal, whether, I don't know what that may have to do with anything, or either the angle or the size of that canal. I don't know if that's something that you might want to ask them about, or what may be going on in the actual structure of the passageways. If they
That's interesting that you would mention that. I found through consulting with 2 or 3 different ones that my ear canals are very small. I had to have the smallest fitting that they could find in the in the center. And my next step would be to have customized, but I was at the edge of the standard sizes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Mama Het.
Thank you. So I have, just to show an example of the candles, they look like this, the ear candling candles.
Mm-hmm.
So they are, wide on one end, hollow, and then pointed on the other. And that's the end that you stick in the ear. And it sucks the earwax out. So that was something that Sister Aisha shared with me. She does that. Going back to the cleanse, it is very detrimental that you use uniodized sea salt. The uniodized sea salt doesn't treat the body as regular salt, and that's the salt you need to use to scrub and cleanse your intestinal walls. And what else with the cleanse that I wanted to mention? You have to make sure you drink regular water as well. Cleanse don't mean forget to drink the water. You have to drink regular water as well as that tea, the tea that you make.
Mm-hmm.
And I know,
Yeah.
and I've used that smooth move tea because I know some of the Senna teas they recommend with the recommendation of the Living Cleanse. Some of those teas get to where your stomach gets to griping, and it just is so painful. So, checking out the different herbs to find the one that is suited best for you. But I like the smooth move tea.
Oh yeah, I've used that too. Yep, that's a good one.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in about the
Good
cleanse.
cleanse.
You know what, Mama
Yeah,
had?
it worked, don't it? It worked real good, don't it?
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Okay, so wait a minute. Before we go to the cleanse, could we go back to the ears?
yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just need to say this, like light workers. Okay, when it comes to illness, okay, first of all, we got to deal with the fact that sickness is not of God. God is a healer. So when you are sick or ill or got that going on, it's a system. It's a mind, body, spirit system. And we know all of this because all the stuff y'all talked about is all stuff outside of y'all. But the ears, what is the function of the ears? To hear. So if you can't hear, you got to ask yourself, where I don't want to hear something. Where in my life have I started to shut down on what I'm hearing? And that's the place where you got to, okay, and I talk like this because I'm passionate, not like y'all got to do anything, okay? But I talk like this because I'm passionate, right? It's spirit first, y'all. Okay, so when inside of the system, because the mind is the most important thing, the body follows the mind. The mind don't follow the body follows the mind. So first, when you're sick, you had a thought. I don't want to hear that shit. Don't be telling me that. I ain't trying to hear that. If it's on the left side, it's some from a woman. Could be from God on the left side. If it's on the right side, from a man. Just start paying attention. So when spirit speaks to you, it'll say it in the mind first. You'll ignore it. It's subtle. You ignore it. think about it, just doing your thing. Then it'll start to come, it'll start to be emotional. First you have a thought, and you have that thought going across, then it becomes emotional. You start to be irritated and annoyed by what somebody said to you or what you don't want to hear, but you don't pay attention to it right there. You just let it keep on because we're doing our thing. Then it becomes emotional. You get upset, you have some emotional reaction, don't pay attention to it there. But as soon as you get in your body, you run into the doctor, you're ready to do something about it now. But it's done happened at 4 different levels before it even got to your body.
That's
and
real.
Come on. Okay, y'all, and we are light workers. Y'all got to start there. And I was listening to this conversation going, ain't nobody went to what's happening spiritually. What is it that you don't want to hear? What is it that you don't want to deal with? Either with yourself or with another.
Okay.
And that's all that's my preaching for the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So going back to Mama Evelyn though, Mama Evelyn, was that buildup affecting your hearing, or was it just like giving you pain, or just feeling blocked, or what was that buildup doing? What were you saying?
Well, it started a while ago, I guess. But it was like when I lay on my
Mama
left
Evelyn,
side. Yeah.
let us not go right back to where we were. I mean, Reverend Omani brought something.
Yeah.
And to go back to physical, how it shows up this way, or how we're going to do that. Let's go where the light workers would go. Let's go with what she should talk about. What is that, Evelyn? What is that? Let's dig deep into that. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody, God dropped something in, and then we're just gonna just shove it aside and move right back into that.
Please call on me. Please.
Yeah,
Can I just say
Yeah.
something, Sheila?
Yes.
Listen, we're on this call. When you're in a group like this, especially dealing with what we're dealing with, we become one.
Yes.
So it ain't just Mama Evelyn or Mama Raziya who can't hear.
Yes.
All of us got a place that we don't want to hear, and it showed up immediately. Because immediately I kicked out what I kicked out, and I was like, okay, forget that. We're going back to the physical. Come on now, y'all. Get the rhythm of the beat.
Let me say this. My point in asking Evelyn the question was, I want to get a clear understanding of what she said she was experiencing that started the conversation, because I didn't really hear her say that she was having a problem hearing.
Okay, but if your ear clogged up.
What is it I'm not facing that I'm not hearing?
Yeah, if your ear clogged up, it's clogged up. Because if you look at Louise Hay, what she say about ears? Your ears represent.
I typed it.
The capacity to hear. So the affirmation is, I hear with love. Just start to look at all the places you don't hear with love.
I know baby daddy is one. She was fussing about him.
Start looking at all the places you don't hear with love. I bet you immediately you'll start to hear better.
AJ's father. Remember, it was AJ father. She was fussing about AJ daddy. Remember?
So hold on. Then it's like you got the ear, all kinds of the ear canal, the ear, inner ear, the outer ear. What does that represent? Anger, not wanting to hear it, too much turmoil around you, and a lot of arguing.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got to do? Surround yourself with harmony. Listen with love. Listen for being pleasant in what you're hearing. And I am the center for love.
And also, anything that's happening outside is also happening inside. So who are you not? What aspect of you are you not hearing on the inside? Something's talking to you. Something's telling you something.
Well, Mama had, that's the principle. So as above, so as below, so as within, so as
Inside
without.
out.
What's outside is showing you what you got going on inside.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday I had to really deal with myself because I let my room get a little junky down. And I was like, this room represents how I feel on the inside. I cleaned up this room yesterday. I was like, no. Because whatever you got going on the outside, your outside is only telling you what you got going on the inside. And this is an inside job now, y'all. The age of Aquarius is an inside job. And if you're going outside looking for it, you're not going to find it. That's like you putting your keys on the kitchen counter, but you looking between your cushion for your keys. You're not looking for the keys where you left them. Come on.
All right, now.
And like
Okay,
she said, that's for all of us in
Yes,
whatever
it is.
area
Yes,
in our
ma'am.
life. It's not just for, it's all of us. I mean, what I'm dealing with is I've held back stuff where I wanted to say and blah, 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 blah. So
yes,
we want to get to some roots, some spiritual roots instead of just, because otherwise it's going to come back anyway. If we don't deal with it from
not only come back, it'll move to another part of your body because you didn't pay attention there. Well, okay, well, let me try over here in the arm. See if the arm, we can catch it there. You didn't get it there. Oh, okay, let me make them knees hurt. See if they catch it right there. It'll just keep moving around till you pay attention to what needs to be paying attention. To be trying to find an outside remedy is like your ears hurt, but you're putting a Band-Aid on your knees. Come on.
So when we're talking about, and I still want to clearly understand what we're talking about in relation to Evelyn. So when we're talking about a blockage, and we're talking about pain, is that right, Evelyn? And we're talking about
pain in other places, but yeah, a little pain here, but pain in other weird places. So yeah,
and we're talking about an accumulation of waste. Is that what we're talking about?
Accumulation of waste.
That
what you said, waste?
That's like lymphatic system gets clogged up and then you can't eliminate because you have different trash cans around in your body.
Yes. Yep. Because I bet you if she went and got a lymphatic massage, things would clear up for her.
Because, when they ear candles, they do all of the sinus, all up. Aisha does a beautiful massage all up in here.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna jump into Mama Evelyn. First of all, I'm gonna say I don't know what your skincare routine is, but the simple massage that you do when you're doing your regular skincare every day puts the pressure point on the lymphatic system on a daily basis, which could help eliminate that waste in your ear as well. Also,
okay, but if you don't wait a minute, hold on. Stop, y'all still doing it. Evelyn, where don't you want to hear something? Y'all went right back to it. You do this and do that. No, it's who she's being in life. It's be, do, have. God is a God of being. He's the supreme being. If something is off in our body, it's in who we are being and who she's been. You see how y'all went right back to it again. Just pay attention how the mind is on a loop and you can't break your loop.
Okay.
Evelyn, if we say to you, where in your life you be like, I ain't hearing that shit. It's right there. Where is it?
Usually it has to do with his daddy. Anything.
Okay, it's the daddy. Is it your right ear or your left ear?
It's my left ear.
Okay, so it's a woman.
It's a woman.
It's a woman. It's some woman. And it could be even yourself. You don't even want to hear your own bullshit. It could be you.
And the daughter too. The daughter deals with the father, and you're there, so you're dealing with all. It's all of it. It's all of it.
Okay, and that's where you got to go on the hunt, honey, because that's where you got to bring more love and more harmony. Your life is asking you to bring more love and more harmony to your life.
We talked.
You bring more love and more harmony to your life, and then you'll be divinely guided to whether to take a smoothie, whether to get a massage, whether but bring more love and more harmony first.
We talked about this last week, Mama
cut it out.
Last week.
Where you upset with yourself? Because I can really hear from the conversations you're upset with yourself.
So then my question
am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I got put my own stuff on mute.
So my question is, what do you need to offload within you
Yes.
to remove that blockage that is showing up physically? What is this that's accumulating within your spirit, within your mind, within your emotions that is trying to find its way out?
Take it off the cross. Take it off the cross.
Yeah.
Therein, that's something to fast about.
Yeah, that's
And,
true.
and not just not eat, and then that's your rhythm, that's your thing. It's something that you fast is something you do special.
But let me ask you this. It's even because Juanita deep down in there, where she can get a result like immediately. Where do you need to bring more harmony and more love in your life with someone, yourself, or someone outside of yourself? Where do you need to bring more harmony and love to yourself? Let's start there with you.
Getting up off my lazy butt and exercising like I know I'm supposed to.
And you beat yourself up unmercifully about that. You know that? I already know that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? That is your main one. You are so mad at yourself. You're so mad.
I'm not doing it sooner for,
Yeah, you're really upset with yourself about that.
Me and Mama Head
now
got
that comes out, it's like other things I'm upset with myself about.
Okay.
Other patterns that I should have,
been broken.
Yeah.
Put in correction.
Yeah.
Okay. And you keep doing it over and over and over again. I got chills all over, so I know I'm telling the truth.
Anger only comes from the past. It only comes from the past. Start today. Start new today, Mama Evelyn. And alter. You sound like you using that word TRY. We should all be squeezing. Because you can use the word without saying the word.
So let's talk about anger.
I know one thing. When we were at Naweeli's party, you were up and you were dancing.
Oh, yes.
I saw you.
Never saw you like that before, girl.
Put some music on. Start there.
Yes.
You can tap your foot and do your fingers. You can start there.
So let me ask you another question. Okay, see, I know that. I know that space where you're supposed to do something and you keep not doing it. I know that space really well. But what I did yesterday was I got my friend to be my accountability person. Every 2 hours, I had to call him up and go, okay, I done got that done. All right, I done got this. Okay, where you at now? Okay, I done got this done, just to get me started. So if somebody was an accountability person for you, for whatever it is you say you want to take on, whether it's fasting, whether it's working out, whether it's, because they were talking about, somebody had talked about the no complaint diet. At one time, I put myself on a 7-day mental diet. I could not say anything negative dwell on anything negative about myself or another. Now, not that I wasn't going to have the thought, but I couldn't dwell on it. If I found myself ruminating over something, I had to start all back over. I never got past day 3. Never made it to 7 days without, but okay. I kept doing it and kept doing it. And guess what? I started to become more positive. You know what I mean? I started to become more positive. So I think the place that you might want to start, even before doing anything, how about start working with the mind first? Those thoughts that you're having about yourself. You got to start to shut them down. And go, if you hear you go, you are just so damn lazy. Go, shut up. Who I am is I'm being motivated. Right? You gotta turn it into something else with the I am statement. An I am statement that calls forth God in you, the goddess in you, the queen in you. And
I
if you're
feel like
Yeah.
me
saying
when I'm
something,
happy. I feel like me when I'm happy. That was our first one
That's
today.
right.
Yeah.
That was it. That's right.
yeah. So yeah, I think Evelyn, if you started there, because you got to start to clear up your mind, because if you don't, listen, the Funkadelics was right. Free your mind and your ass will follow. They was right.
Right. That's right.
They was right. Free your mind and your
And
ass
we
will
need a
follow. That was
mirror.
the truth.
Evelyn, where your mirror at? Where your mirror? You gotta look at your mirror. Is one there behind you somewhere? I know you got a mirror there. Start there. Get in that mirror. I
And
love
see,
you.
and see God. See God when you look in your mirror.
That's right. We love you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Mama
but
Evelyn,
us
you,
loving her don't do no good if she don't love her.
I
but you
know.
got some
That's what. Go
support.
Us
get the
loving
mirror. We
her
can start
don't do no
today.
good
You got some
until
support
she
for the
loves her.
exercise.
She's got to
Uh,
really
you
that.
got some support. You got some support for the exercise.
Yeah, somebody go, I love you, and you when you don't love yourself, you be like, you don't love me.
Look, whatever.
Right.
Like whatever.
You don't be like, whatever. Yeah. She won't say it out loud, but that's what she's saying on the inside.
What?
So we so nice and polite with each other.
Well, let me just share that you got support for your exercise and dance. 3 of us I know offhand have videos on Facebook and online that you can go to, you know, when we're not around. Mama Head, you got videos from some of your workouts, right? And then I've got my silver sneakers stretch, strength, and cardio videos. So whatever you feel like on a given day, I can send you the link, and I'll send you an invite to my silver sneakers group, and you can go through. There's a lot of videos that you can choose from the easiest to my most challenging, because it's not going to be challenging for somebody like Sister Danielle. She'd be like, oh, that's that senior stuff. But yeah,
Juanita, don't beat it down. Don't beat it down. Do not do that. Do not do that. Stop.
I'm acknowledging my level of intensity because I know my level of intensity may not be at someone else's level of intensity. So you might find yourself surpassing that. You might need something more intense that, you know, Danielle or someone might offer. And Danielle, you got videos, right? Can't hear you.
You're muted, babe. You're muted.
Hold on. Okay. I don't think I have a full workout out there, but I have stuff out there. But I do one thing with the company that I have, which I do have a detox tea. I'm letting you guys know that already. They have me doing free belly dance class every Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Facebook from now into January. So I have a free class that you free 99 that you can do in the comfort of your own home, shimmy your shake, and just get up and move. So yeah, I do have a free class, and I am working on the videos, but I have a free class 9 o'clock on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Wednesday. I'll put the link in the group. And yeah, you know, Mama Evelyn, sometimes you just need to, if you just put on the music and just dance in your own space, you know what I'm saying? You can get started somewhere. And, you know,
Mama Amani. Looking at her face. That we still don't know what to do. I already know.
I'm giving you a suggestion. It's like get up and dance.
Oh,
That's all.
Okay, yeah, y'all went, listen, stop. Do you know y'all went right back to doing something? Y'all went right back. As soon as I start saying B, so I stop talking, y'all go right back. You could do this, you could do this, you could do this. That is not the access in the Aquarian age. The access in an Aquarian age is who are you being? And I know we still caught up in our what do you call it? What do you call it? Our do. We are doing machines, especially Black women. You can't stop us from doing what we got to do. And that's not and that's not our access in. It's not the access in now. It's actually going to become antiquated. Does anybody else have that experience? Or is it just me?
No.
No?
I truly appreciate what
Anybody?
you're saying.
So
I understand you completely. It's
I
about
do too.
who are you, regardless of whatever the circumstances may be.
And it all
Yes, who you're being. So God's name is I am. When I got this, it was the biggest revelation I ever had. God's name is I am. Okay, if you conjugate the verb to be is I am, you are, he or she is. That's the word. Who God is the being. He's the supreme being. If we're made in the image and likeness of God, our job is who are we being? Every day, every minute, every second. Okay, so what's the access to this? And this is the whole thing, you guys, and it's really simple, but we're making it really complicated. So if who are you being? You got your lower vibrations, sadness, grief, anger, anxiety. You got your lower vibrations and you got your higher vibrations. The whole deal is, can you vibe high? Not can you do as much as you can do. When you're doing it, can you vibe high?
That's so real. That's so real, because if we're not doing it with that spirit, with that intent, with that pureness of heart, is almost worthless. You're so right.
Yeah, and
So right.
that's where we got to really focus, because it's in the being that the doing gets done. If you start getting access to who you being and vibing high, you'll get more done, and you figure out how that.
Right, yes.
I want to touch back on something that Mama Het said, though, that anger factor. And I want to go a little deeper into looking at our anger, because our anger from the past, but it's a result sometimes, too often, of unmet expectations. So let's look at how much are we operating in unmet expectations. That's, the root of some anger. And what do we need to shift about our expectations? Or do we need to maybe back off from expectations and learn more to surrender and go with more of the flow, even though the flow may not look, feel, smell like what we think we ought to be doing, but what are we really getting out of it, and to what extent are we standing in our true selves and our true identity within what we're surrendering to?
So put it in the toilet or fertilize it. Go ahead, Mama Evelyn. I'm done.
Well, okay. So
That's a good one.
expectation of not only what we expect of ourselves, which puts us in this situation, but what we expect of others.
Yeah.
How I expect my male neighbors to act when they got snow blowers, and that anger probably is in here. What my child should be doing is what's in here. Okay. All right.
Wow.
All of it is building up. All of it.
Finish it.
I
Finish
see.
it. You got more. Tell the you.
Yeah.
What else did you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
So shifting from a point of operating in expectation. Our expectation is of God. That's the only one that we can depend on to fulfill our expectations.
Okay. Yep. That's
because
right.
this is one thing that really gets messed up, is that we expect other people to operate how we operate, and we probably ain't operating how we should be operating. So here's the deal.
Yes.
Everybody, the lessons that we know and that we have to work with, it's not for nobody else.
Right.
So-and-so don't need to know how to use their snow blower. They have their own. Our parents told us, God bless the child has got their own. But Mama Evelyn, all of that stuff of what people should be doing, that's what should Evelyn be doing?
Yeah.
You got to move that, and should is pushy. That's some Taurus shit right there. But it's inside. So we think about, we'll put off what we don't do on other people. Remember I told you the things that we want to say to other people, we need to run by the mirror before. I got a mirror right here by my bed, and I've been talking to this heifer. I've been talking to her right there. You. When I get in my fits. And so the other thing is, the other greatest one is game, no game. You can't call it unless you know it. I'm talking to Mama Head right now. I'm just talking to Mama. You can't call it unless you know it. If you didn't know about something, you wouldn't be able to call it out in somebody else.
All right, all right.
And I ain't just talking, I'm not even talking to Mama Evelyn. I'm talking to me right now. Y'all just in front of me. That's all that's happening.
Okay. All
Don't
right.
think I ain't dealing with some stuff. I got gut stuff going on, and I got the back of my right leg. That's my mama and my daddy side.
Mm-hmm.
But they
It's
both
like
bleed.
that is so deep. It's so deep, Mama Head, what you're saying, because it's actually three of those that go with what Juanita said. She was like the unfulfilled expectation.
Right.
You got undelivered communication, all the communication that you swallowed and didn't say.
Right.
And you got to also, you got your thwarted intention. In life, you intended to do something or get something done and you didn't get it done. All those things
Your
were
responsibility,
contributed.
right? Can't nobody else do it but you.
Yeah.
Say that again. The undelivered what? The undelivered communication.
Thwarted intention. You had something or something you wanted to get done and it didn't get done. And then you have expectation, an unfulfilled expectation.
Mama Raziya?
Well, this has been a really rich discussion. And when Sister Imani came on and talked about the spiritual part, that's so important. And I really realized in my own hearing experience that there was a lot of things I didn't want to hear. I was so concerned about how we were being railroaded into a belief system with the COVID experience and all of that. And there was a time to say, you know, there is so much chatter and so much that is misleading, but yet in that chatter, there were things that were really important to hear and to know and to respond. So I look at our whole community in our society and the hearing loss across the nation is in sync with this experience that we're going through. And so it is a very serious spiritual work that we need to do to get through this.
Yes. And Mama Raziya, you've been in a field where there's been a lot of naysaying in the field that you're in. And you were a pioneer in that field. So you had to shut down a lot of communication that was coming your way.
Yeah.
You know, so I could really get that. I can see how you had to make your ear gate very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
I could get that. I could so get that totally.
So I'm with you. And I'm aware, and you know, I'm going through it. I'm at peace with, because I know it's a part of the bigger picture of my survival and my being here to support others in surviving this experience that we're in right now.
Yes.
And it is awesome. And I think when I talked with some of my friends, I said, you know, I am just amazed and I'm grateful to be a part of this and to be alive and be here, to be in the, I don't like to use in the struggle, but in the work of going through it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I am trusting God that I will hear what I really need to hear.
Yes, yes.
But I'm trusting God and thanking God for
Yes.
sparing me
Yes.
some of the things I don't need to hear.
Amen. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for
Well,
continuing to try to bring us back to the non-physical or the more
Right,
spiritual
right.
part of this, sister. I heard you.
yeah. Thank
And
you.
we
Thank
are
you.
with
And
you.
I just for you, just bring more love. There's nothing but love anyway. But you know, I've been around you. I know when people talking crazy, you just cut them off. I've been around. You be like, and keep doing what you're doing. But now you can actually just send them love. Just send them love. They just need some
Okay.
love and light. You ain't gotta cut off your ear gate because they cutting the food. Just know that that's one of God's child acting the food. They need some love and some harmony. And
Yeah.
and keep on the love and harmony for yourself. I swear y'all ears will get better. I ain't lying. I know. So
Um, can I switch topics a little bit? If can someone in a short, I don't know if it can be done short. If you know anything about the 1212, the portal that is opening, since we're talking spiritual, the portal that's opened yesterday, 12/12/22.
Yeah, Sister Jacqueline sent something to me. She might could speak to it better than I could, but
Yeah, because I was listening to, it was funny when Jacqueline, and when I saw that, something popped up on my phone. I didn't even have it, and I thought maybe I had hit the one that she had sent, but it was something else from Mind Valley, was talking about the portal, and that portal opening up. Some of you understand that way more than I do, what that means and how to best use that portal that has opened up for us. And it's something about 10 days. So anything that you know, even in helping us in what we're dealing with today's topic, and what Mama Evelyn is dealing with.
right.
Ain't by itself. The video is only 11 minutes. I don't know if we have that amount of time, but that video that Jacqueline sent is Jacqueline, where you at?
I know.
Is she still here?
She had to do
She's
something.
here. She's here.
Jacqueline.
Oh,
Can somebody put that in the link in the WhatsApp, that link to the 11-minute video?
It is in the WhatsApp.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, you
Cool.
just gotta listen. You probably sound like me. You just gotta scroll and find it because Mama.
Okay, cool.
yeah, because it's a lot. Is
All right.
Juanita gonna talk?
What's
Where
that, baby?
Juanita go?
What's that?
Oh no, who put it in the WhatsApp?
Sister
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline,
Jackie.
Oh, Jacqueline did. Did she leave?
you
She's
know,
not
No,
she's
she
available
there.
right now.
right here, but she's
She's
not
not.
at her phone or wherever.
okay, here we go.
12. Okay.
Because I know a little bit about it, but I've been talking a lot, so somebody else might.
Come on now, Amani.
I'm bringing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's really a magical time. It's a couple of times out the year that the numbers line up. You got the Lions Gate in Leo is 8/8. That's the Lions Gate. And then you got 12/12. And 12/12 is like the space for miracles when you want to create and cause and open up, like the stuff that we're asking, that was asked to be brought forth today. More love, more harmony, and focusing in on and having the intention to bring that. This is a magical time to have those things open up and happen. A time to clean up, because it's going to go from 12/12 to 12/21 to the winter solstice, 12/22. Those are the three magical numbers this month is 12/12, but also it's going to be 12/21, 12/22, and 12/23. Those 3 days right there, because it's the winter solstice and the new moon.
Okay.
Right. So it's a powerful time to create. It's a powerful time to start causing and really thinking about, what newly you want to bring into your life. And actually an awesome time to complete, like ways of being doing and having your life that you want to complete. Write them all down.
Okay.
Burn it.
So
Time
Mama,
to-
so Mama Evelyn's ear could also represent that she's ready for something new and her body is releasing. You
Yes.
discovered it at a certain time. So look,
Yes.
see, here we go turning it around.
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
your
Come
body
on.
wanted to release it, you were able to identify, okay, this stuff got to get out of me, because if you have stuff blocking, then you can't get new stuff in. And
Yes.
also sometimes if you're not creating, have you been creating? You've been sitting there fussing. Because when you're not creating and you're not grateful, stuff will build up. You be like, oh, because something is wanting to come out too, Mama Evelyn. It ain't always going in. There's something need to come out of there.
Yeah.
There should
Be doing something.
Mama,
I've been creating.
You can hear her needing to complete some things, like be done with some things.
Yeah.
You can really hear it, and you just got to write them down. Like, okay, I'm done with this. This is no more. I'm not gonna fuss about this man anymore. That man need love. He a child of God too, even though he might be covered up with mud. If you get past all his mud, it's a child of God in
He
there.
didn't get what you got to give, Mama Evelyn. That's one thing we look at people and be fussing about how they live, but they didn't get what you got. They don't have what you have. And that's why he probably in your life, so you can get what you need to get from him, and he gets from what he needs to get. We talked about him last week. I noticed. I told you. We called it out. Remember last week? I said, Mama Evelyn, you mad at that baby. He made that baby.
I love that baby.
Well, then love the daddy. You love the DNA.
Listen, okay, so there's a conversation that I'm engaging in right now, and it's a conversation called the seed and the soil. And women, if you came here this time in the divine feminine, then you're the soil, right? And we're here to nurture. What does the soil do? You know, you put the seed in there. As the woman, we're the soil, and the people in our life, they're the seed, particularly the men. They're the seed, right? And our job as women is to nurture them, to have them get that they can win with us. Because when a man don't think he can win with you, he gives up. And he the seed. In him lies the forest. In him lies the lilies in the valleys of it's just rows and rows of flowers, but you got to nurture him to that. You don't put no seed in you ever put a seed in some dirt and the dirt kick that seed out, go, this ain't no damn seed. Just get this thing. It's terrible. Whatever you put in the seed, whatever you put in the soil, the soil nurtures it. And somewhere along the line, as we've got our relationships mixed up, and we don't really get with the men in our life, if we nurture them, if we empower them, that they're the seed. They will bear lots of good fruit. And if we're not doing that, guess what? That seed, which is the man, he ain't gonna bear no good fruit.
Good talk.
And we got to get that. Okay, I'm done talking now, y'all.
Well,
my spirit just told me I was lying. So, okay, I'm gonna keep talking when I got to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. You know you was lying when you said you was done.
Yeah, I had to stop. I had to stop.
I love you.
You looking, wait a minute, what you doing? You looking so beautiful. What you doing?
I'm just trying.
Guest, she's the guest today. She's the guest.
Oh, and so do your booty tights, because you said trying. I heard you do your booty tights.
Right.
All of that. I love y'all so much.
We doing it with you.
I heard that too, Deidre. It's like anybody say trying, we all got to do them.
Yeah, you keep saying it.
Oh, are we having fun yet?
Oh Lord.
Yes. That's how we started off, by laughter.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I love y'all so much.
I love you guys too.
We love you too.
We're so good for each other. We like medicine for each other.
I know.
Good
You look like
nutrition.
I love your smile.
Who smile? I love your smile to all of
Both of
y'all.
us kind of got a new one. I got a new too.
I love it because we on this journey together. Everybody, whatever we all dealing with, we on this journey together. And I think that's what's so fabulous about this whole.
Yes.
I tell you that we've been in the kitchen and we had some good breakfast this morning. I tell you.
Wait, where my
Yes.
napkin? I need
Yeah,
my
right. Love you all. I want to share, let's see, who had, okay. Juanita, I need you to give me back the.
Uh-oh. Do I know how?
Got it.
What do I do? What do I do? Did you do it?
Share. Just say, hit stop share.
First of all, that's a beautiful screensaver, just to let you know.
Sheila, that's it. That was your screen. I mean, Queen Aduni.
That was Queen of doing the screen? Okay.
I thought that's what it said.
Yeah, there you go.
You already had the power.
I got it. I got the power. I got the power. Let me bring it back up here. There we go. And I just want to remind, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Let me bring this up and bring this down. Lord Jesus. All right, here we go. Tonight.
Business meet. Let me set my clock right now. Right.
I'm gonna have to call you because she gets involved with her knitting and she zones out. So, if at all possible, please join us this evening. And tomorrow is Wednesday, and we are to have our high heel shoes, right?
That's right.
Oh, really?
High heel stockings. If you got your favorite gym shoes, if you want your foot naked, no problem. Just get whatever you would. The shoes that we know we shouldn't be wearing. Those are the ones I want you to bring.
Oh, girl.
I'll catch it on the video because y'all know that's one of my class days.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some things today. There is a new announcement about the conference that I will share this evening, and it's good news. So we'll talk about that. And we really got to talk about the retail products, the cups and the t-shirts. We got to get that going. We need to get that going. So if you can, please make it a priority to come and stuff like that. And that's all we have for right now. I love you.
Love you.
Okay, so
yes.
Wait a minute, what's the code? Okay, so oh my God.
Use the same.
Take a deep breath. Take a breath.
Use the same code. The same
Okay.
code for tonight. It's the same code.
Okay, I'll jump on the call.
I just want to mention that Saturday, because of Mama Head, I'm gonna be at the car center from 6 to 8:30. Earrings on sale.
Oh wow.
Spirit dolls.
Send us a reminder note in the WhatsApp chat, please.
Okay.
And
You
Mama
got a
Head-
flyer for that, Mama?
Yeah, we do. We have a flyer. Mama Nicole, excuse me, Dr. Nicole and I will be there Thursday and Friday, same space. But I'll send out. Yes, there's a flyer.
We need a birthday list.
Was that Nicole, Dr. Nicole, who was that with you at Juanita's thing?
Yes.
Where is that beautiful diva? I need to talk
In
to
our
her.
room talk. Mama Momani looking for you. Okay. All right.
And today is Naweeli's Earth Day. Today.
Okay.
So make sure you throw something, throw something her way, say something to her.
Okay.
Definitely.
We need a birthday list. Need a birthday list. 'Cause I know Mama Evelyn is coming up on Christmas. They just thought it was Christmas.
Yeah,
Mama Evelyn's birthday.
on my phone and save it. So yeah.
Who else is in December?
I'll do a survey because I need everybody's everything so I can do these charts.
And also, this is just a thought, you know, or get a birthday list and just at least find out one thing, one or two things that people like, you know, so we can, if we know them, we can give them something they like, they love, they appreciate. I'm just saying.
That's sweet.
Just saying. Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
It's good to see you, Mama Raziya, all the time.
Thank you. Good to be seen.
Dang,
My
you
sugar,
looking
that's
beau-
my
Mama
sugar.
Raziya, you looking beautiful too. What y'all doing? Y'all got your beauty on.
Loving life.
Oh,
That's
that
my
Jacqueline,
sugar. That's my sugar.
Jacqueline was getting in the car. That's why she was.
She traveling.
All right. Give yourself a hug. A love, 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 live. We didn't ever see you, Bridget, and we didn't ever, or did we?
We saw Bridget. We saw
her
Bridget.
earlier. We didn't see Lolly, and we didn't see Jackie.
Oh, Lolly traveling. She traveling. She having a good time traveling. So.
Oh yeah. Love you, love you, love you, love the world. Give the hug.
Love you.
Strength of prosperity, healing, introspective. Go deep within. Complete things. We're in the portal. Go through the portal. Let's go through the portal.
Is the portal is about manifesting, manifesting, manifesting.
Peace.
Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Peace and blessings.